Hi YouTube, I've collected back loads of toys that I used to own when I was a child in the 80s. Probably one of the best toy lines that was around at the time was Tomy Zoids. I'm just going to go through in this video and show you all the different ones that you could get back in the day, and I'm just going to put names to them. So any of you who are collectors can have a look through this video and get names for the Zoids that you're after. So I used to own quite a few Zoids as a child. I definitely had Zoidzilla, he was my biggest one. I didn't have any of the other large ones, but I decided since then that they're all so cool that I'm going to try and collect back the whole range. So I think I've got them all now, all the ones you could get back in the 80s. And it has taken me quite a long time to get them all back again. So I've mainly been buying them on eBay. I bought a job lot where I got most of these actually. For I think it was around £200, something like that. And then I just bought back all of the smaller ones that I still didn't have to complete the whole set. But yeah, it's much cheaper, I think, to try and buy a massive collection off of somebody else who's already collected them all. Otherwise, each of the smaller Zoids, you're looking at sort of £20 or more each. And some of the rarer small Zoids go for quite a bit more. So that battery power one that you saw that was called Tank a second ago, that one goes for quite a bit more. It's a bit more sought after and hard to get. The other red battery powered small Zoid, which is called Serpent, that one tends to go for quite a bit more, and again is a bit trickier to get hold of. And there are a few others like that. There's the tortoise one called Cannon I found particularly difficult to get hold of. And the small blue Zoid called Terrazoid, that was the last one that I've only just literally got to complete the collection. So pretty much all of the small Zoids, apart from those two that take batteries, are wind-up. They've all got these tiny little wind-up mechanisms, and they don't go for very long before the wind-up mechanism stops. But it's just enough to give them a bit of movement, and they're quite fun. They all move in different ways. And yeah, there's a lot of them based on dinosaurs. There are some that are based on, you know, reptiles or insects or elephants and things like that. So they're all really quite cool. And there's a couple that go in the water. So this one that you're seeing here, we've got Hydrazoid, and the other one next to it you'll see in a second called Aquazoid. They came with like polystyrene floats in those sort of side tubes. And that made them really fun back in the day because it meant you could put them in the bath with you, wind them up and watch them swim along. I don't think I'd want to do that now because I'd worry about parts going rusty and things, but it was really good fun back in the 80s. This one, Krark, this was one that I had as a child as well, and that was one of my favourites. I just loved all the detail on it. So this is that Tortozoid called Cannon, or sometimes it's called Cannon Tortoise. But that one is, yeah, I found it really hard to get hold of. This Scorpion one I can remember not really liking very much as a child because the colour scheme was slightly different. It's different sort of blues and greys compared to a lot of the other blue Zoids. So I didn't feel that it kind of went in as well. And it had the sort of orange cockpit cover as well. But actually it's grown on me since then, and now I really like it. I mean, I like scorpions anyway, and all kinds of creepy crawlies. So anything like that is, yeah, I'm bound to end up being a fan of it. So that's it for the blue Zoids. I'll show you the red Zoids next. So all of the sort of bigger Zoids took batteries. I think they pretty much all took C-size batteries, so quite big. They lasted for quite a long time. A lot of them had like flashing lights and that kind of thing, and yeah, really good fun. You do have to be careful with these now because, you know, bits do kind of fall off them and things, so it's important to try and make sure that you've got complete specimens before you buy them, because if you buy them and there's a bit missing, trying to source the parts can be really hard. So yeah, make sure you get it complete in the first place is my advice to you. So that's the three main kind of big red Zoids, and then you got all the small ones again. So this is the one called Serpent. I'm not particularly keen on this one because it's got greenish coloured wheels, which again don't tie in really with the rest of it. But there is another version of Serpent which is exactly the same, but the wheels are more that kind of silvery colour of the other Zoids. So I think what I'm going to try and do is just source a pair of wheels for him and put those on. But like I say, he was one of the more expensive Zoids. I think he tends to go for more like £50, something like that. So yeah, I will try and get the grey wheels though, because it'll tie in so much nicer with all the rest of the Zoids. Some of the larger Zoids do go for something like over £100 each on eBay, depending on their condition. If you're trying to get them all in boxes, they tend to go for a lot more. So I decided right at the beginning not to try and collect any of them in boxes. I've got quite a lot of instruction booklets that came with these, so I collected all of those up. But the boxes I'm not too fussed about because they just take up a lot of space. So I just wanted the actual Zoids themselves. It's probably worth mentioning as well that these Zoids, if you keep them in sunlight or in bright light, they can fade or yellow. So what I do is I keep them in a dark cupboard, which is sealed to the light. No light gets in apart from occasionally when I open the door to show people. I think that is important because some people I know like completely dismantle these when they buy them, dismantle them all down and just put them either back in the boxes they came in originally, or just put them in sealed plastic tubs or something like that and store them like that. But I like to be able to see mine, so every so often I can open my cupboard door and just have a look at them all. It just takes me instantly back to my childhood. The Zoids that you can see in the frame at the moment, so Z-Ray, Slime and Slitherzoid, they were the first three I can remember owning as a child, and then I remember going on to obviously buy a lot more after that. But they're my kind of three favourite small Zoids, I would say. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it'll be a useful resource for some of you who are trying to collect back the Zoids as well. Thanks for watching, and check out my other toy videos because I've got lots of different toy lines. I was basically trying to collect back everything that I owned when I was a child. So I've got a lot of things like GoBots and Kenner Star Wars figures, Mad Balls, Gnarlies and Rock Lords, that kind of thing. So yeah, check out my other videos. There's bound to be something that you also had as a child if you were growing up in the 80s, and hopefully it will give you a nice big nostalgia trip.